Have you ever felt a magnetic pull towards someone? A silent connection that seems too subtle to put into words? Attraction, when hidden, speaks its own secret language. It's in the smallest gestures, the fleeting looks, and the unspoken acts of care. But here's the real question. Do you know how to decode these signs when they come from a man? What if the guy you've been eyeing has already shown he's captivated by you, yet you've missed the clues? Let's be honest, many of us have fallen into the trap of misinterpreting someone's behavior, mistaking politeness for interest, or, worse, failing to see real affection because it's too understated. The truth? Men are often more guarded with their feelings, relying on subtle actions rather than grand declarations. That's where things get exciting. Understanding his hidden signals can completely transform the way you approach attraction and connection. Today, we're delving into the 10 unmistakable signs. By the end of this, you'll not only know what to look for, but also how to approach these signs with confidence, authenticity, and grace. Ready to uncover his secrets? Let's begin. 1. Increased communication. When was the last time you noticed someone reaching out more than usual? It might start small. A simple "how's your day going?" text, or a casual comment on your more often, sending you memes that match your sense of humor, or responding to your stories with thoughtful comments. Have you noticed these patterns with him? If so, he might be dropping subtle hints that you're constantly on his mind. Think about it. Why would someone go out of their way to maintain consistent communication with you unless they wanted to stay connected? A man who is secretly attracted to you will look for reasons, no matter how small, to keep the conversation alive. Even if the messages are seemingly random, like sending you a funny TikTok or asking about your opinion on something trivial, the effort reveals his deeper intent. He wants to build a bridge that keeps you in his orbit. Here's where stoicism. A man who feels this way might also engage with your social media in a way that stands out. Maybe he's the first to like your posts or leaves thoughtful comments that show he's paying attention to what you share. Dark Stoic Psychology teaches us to interpret these cues with clarity, while others might see these gestures as mere friendliness. The subtle frequency and personal nature of his interactions can hint at deeper feelings. Ask yourself this: when he reaches out, does he bring value to your day, or does it feel routine and impersonal? A man who's truly interested will put effort into his communication. He'll remember details you've mentioned, follow up on past conversations, and show signs of active listening. For example, if you once mentioned that you love a specific cafe, and he later suggests meeting there, or references it in passing, it's no accident. He's trying to create a meaningful connection. But here's the catch. Attraction isn't about being overly available. While his frequent communication shows interest, it's often coupled with a balanced approach. He doesn't flood your inbox or make you feel overwhelmed. Instead, he keeps the rhythm steady, allowing you to feel his presence without it becoming overbearing. So, what should you do if you recognize this sign? Stay grounded and take your time to assess his intentions. Remember, Stoicism teaches us the value of observing patterns without rushing to interpret them emotionally. A man who's genuinely attracted to you will be patient, consistent, and intentional in his efforts to communicate. Now, think about how this plays out in your life. Has someone been making extra effort to stay in touch? Have they gone out of their way to show interest in your daily activities? If you've noticed these signs, you might already have your answer. He's quietly drawn to you, waiting for the right moment to reveal his feelings. Keep your eyes open, your mind calm, and your heart ready for the next clue in his hidden language of attraction. Are you ready to uncover more? Let's move on to the next sign. Stay with me. This story is just getting started. 2. Physical closeness and touch. Have you ever been in a room full of people and noticed that one person always seems to find a way to sit next to you? Or maybe he casually brushes against you while reaching for something or lightly taps your arm when he laughs at your jokes. These small, almost imperceptible actions might seem coincidental, but let me ask you this. How many coincidences does it take before they start to feel intentional? Physical closeness is one of the most primal ways a man shows his attraction, even if he's trying to keep it under wraps. A man who is secretly drawn to you will unconsciously, or sometimes very consciously, seek opportunities to be near you. Whether he chooses the seat closest to yours in a meeting, stands beside you in a group photo, or simply finds excuses to lean in during a conversation, his body language is doing the talking. Have you noticed his attention to proximity? Pay attention to how he behaves in different settings. For instance, when there are multiple seats available, does he always end up next to you? Does he lean toward you, even if the space allows for more distance? These subtle moves are his way of creating a sense of connection without having to say a word. Touch is another powerful indicator. While some men are naturally more tactile, the difference with someone who's secretly attracted to you lies in the intention behind the touch. A casual brush of your hand while handing you something, a light touch on your shoulder to get your attention, or even playfully nudging you during a joke can all be signs he's testing the waters. But here's the thing, he's also gauging your reaction. Do you lean into his touch, smile, or respond positively? These moments, small as they may seem, are significant in his mind. This is where Dark Stoic Psychology offers a fascinating perspective. It teaches us to read these physical cues without jumping to conclusions. Just because someone is close to you doesn't mean it's always attraction, but consistent physical gestures, coupled with other signs, paint a clearer picture of his intentions. Stoicism reminds us to stay composed, observing his behavior over time to confirm if these actions are deliberate expressions of affection. Imagine this scenario. You're at a crowded event, and despite having plenty of options, he stays by your side the entire time. Or maybe he offers his jacket when it's chilly, not just out of politeness, but as a quiet gesture of care. These actions are more than routine. They're signals he's attuned to your presence and comfort. Let's talk about body language for a moment. A man who's drawn to you will often orient his body in your direction. His feet might point toward you during conversations, or he'll lean slightly forward, closing the space between you. This isn't just about proximity, it's about creating a sense of intimacy in even the most public settings. And if he mirrors your gestures, adjusting his posture when you shift, for instance, it's a subconscious way of syncing with your energy. Here's something fun. Think back to the last time you were in a group setting with him. Did he subtly find ways to single you out, even with others around? Did he position himself so you were always in his line of sight? These aren't random acts, they're deliberate choices driven by his underlying attraction. But how should you respond to these signals? Keep it simple. Acknowledge his efforts with a smile or a return gesture that feels natural. Remember, Stoicism is about maintaining composure and authenticity. Your response should be genuine, not forced, allowing the interaction to unfold naturally. Now, let's hear from you. Have you noticed a man consistently finding ways to be close to you? Has his touch ever lingered just a little longer than expected? Share your experiences in the comments below. I'd love to know how you've interpreted these moments. And while you're at it, don't forget to give this video a like if you're finding these insights helpful. Your support means everything, and it helps us continue creating content that dives deep into human connection. If you're ready for more, stay with me as we uncover the next secret sign of hidden attraction. You won't want to miss it. 3. Mirroring and matching behavior. Have you ever had a conversation with someone and realized they were subtly mirroring your movements or matching your energy? Maybe you leaned forward, and moments later, he did the same. Or perhaps he used a particular phrase, and suddenly, it became part of his vocabulary. If this sounds familiar, you might be witnessing one of the most subconscious yet powerful signs of attraction: mirroring. When a man is secretly attracted to you, he unconsciously starts to mirror your behavior. This goes beyond simple mimicry. It's his way of creating harmony and establishing a connection without saying, "I like you." Mirroring is rooted in human psychology. It's how we build rapport and make others feel understood. But when attraction is involved, it becomes a silent declaration of interest. Think about your recent interactions with him. Has he started using phrases or expressions you commonly say? Maybe you mentioned a particular hobby, and now he's casually bringing it up in conversation, or even trying it out himself. For example, you tell him you love hiking, and the next thing you know, he's suggesting a trail you could explore together. These aren't coincidences, they're deliberate efforts to align with your interests and build a bridge between your worlds. Body language plays a significant role here too. A man who mirrors you might adopt your posture, adjust his gestures to match yours, or subtly follow your lead in how you move. If you cross your arms, he might do the same. If you tilt your head while listening, you may notice him doing it too. These small, almost imperceptible shifts are his way of syncing with you on a deeper level. But mirroring doesn't stop at physical actions. It extends to lifestyle and habits. Imagine this. You talk about a book you've been reading, and a week later, he's picked it up and casually mentions it in conversation. Or you rave about your favorite band, and suddenly he's quoting their lyrics or asking you for song recommendations. These gestures, though subtle, are significant. They show he's paying attention to what matters to you and actively finding ways to align his interests with yours. From a Dark Stoic Psychology perspective, this behavior reflects a desire for connection through shared experiences. A man may not even realize he's mirroring you. It's often a subconscious response to the magnetic pull he feels. Stoicism, on the other hand, encourages us to observe these signs with clarity, appreciating the effort without letting it cloud our judgment. The key is to notice consistent patterns. Mirroring is not a one-off action but a repeated attempt to strengthen the bond. Let's dive deeper into why this matters. When someone mirrors you, they're signaling more than attraction. They're expressing emotional investment. By adopting your gestures, phrases, or interests, he's creating a sense of us. It's a quiet way of saying, "I see you, I respect you, and I want to be part of your world." These subtle shifts in behavior create an unspoken rhythm between two people, fostering comfort and trust. Here's something to try the next time you're with him. Test the waters. Lean slightly closer during a conversation, shift your posture, or use a distinctive gesture. Then watch how he reacts. Does he follow your lead, even unconsciously? If he does, it's a strong indicator that he's tuned into you on a deeper level than he might openly admit. Mirroring can also reveal itself in how he manages his time. Have you noticed him adjusting his schedule to match yours? Maybe he suddenly becomes available for an event you mentioned or starts frequenting places he knows you enjoy. These aren't mere conveniences. They're subtle ways of inserting himself into your world while creating opportunities for more interaction. As you reflect on these signs, remember that attraction is often communicated through layers of subtlety. A man who mirrors your behavior is showing you, in his own way, that he feels a connection worth nurturing. It's not just about copying, it's about aligning, understanding, and building a bridge towards something more meaningful. Stay with me, because there's more to uncover. The signals of hidden attraction are all around you. It's just a matter of knowing where to look. Let's keep peeling back the layers to reveal the truth behind his intentions. Ready for the next sign? Let's continue. 4. Frequent communication. When a man is secretly attracted to you, his communication becomes more than just casual chatter. It becomes a deliberate effort to maintain a presence in your life. Have you noticed him finding reasons to text you, comment on your social media, or strike up conversations at every opportunity. While these gestures may appear harmless on the surface, they often hide a deeper motivation. He wants to stay connected and make sure you don't forget about him. Think about how often he initiates contact. Does he send you a good morning text out of the blue? Or perhaps he checks in on how your day is going, even when he doesn't have a specific reason to do so. These moments of frequent outreach aren't just about politeness. They're about creating a rhythm of connection that keeps you thinking about him too. The nature of his messages can also reveal his intentions. A man who's genuinely interested will send thoughtful, personalized messages rather than generic or one-word responses. For example, instead of a simple "how are you?" he might ask about something specific, like how your presentation at work went, or whether you enjoyed that new restaurant you mentioned. This level of attention shows he's not just keeping the conversation going, he's genuinely invested in your life. Social media becomes another playground for his frequent communication. Have you noticed him liking almost every post you share, or leaving thoughtful comments that stand out from the usual? These aren't random acts, they're calculated ways to show he's paying attention. He might even use social media as an excuse to reach out, sending you a funny meme that matches your sense of humor or a link to an article related to your interests. From a Dark Stoic Psychology lens, this behavior speaks to the power of subtle connection. By reaching out frequently and in meaningful ways, he's creating a sense of closeness without making it overly obvious. It's his way of signaling, "I'm here, I notice you, and I care about what's going on in your world." But as Stoicism reminds us, it's essential to observe these actions calmly and without rushing to conclusions. Look for patterns rather than isolated events to confirm his feelings. Frequent communication doesn't always mean he's texting 24/7. A man who's interested will strike a balance, ensuring his efforts are consistent but not overwhelming. He might wait for the right moments to message you, ensuring each interaction feels intentional rather than forced. Pay attention to the quality of his communication. Does it feel like he's genuinely trying to connect, or is he just filling the silence? A man who's drawn to you will prioritize meaningful exchanges over empty ones. This extends to how he keeps conversations alive. For instance, he might bring up inside jokes or revisit topics you discussed previously, creating a thread of continuity that strengthens your bond. If he remembers small details you've shared, like the name of your childhood pet or your favorite coffee order, it's a clear sign he's paying more attention than most. These small acts of remembrance show he values what you say and wants to make you feel seen and appreciated. Even his responses can reveal his feelings. Does he reply quickly and thoughtfully, or does he seem distracted? A man who's secretly attracted to you will often put effort into crafting replies that keep the conversation engaging. He may even steer the dialogue toward deeper, more personal topics, subtly inviting you to open up and share more about yourself. This kind of communication isn't just about passing time, it's about building trust and intimacy. But why does he do this? Because frequent communication is his way of staying in your mind, even when you're apart. By creating consistent touch points, he's reinforcing his presence in your life, while giving you the impression that he's someone you can rely on. This strategy allows him to build a foundation for something more without putting all his feelings on the table too soon. As you reflect on these interactions, think about the effort he's putting in. A man who's truly interested will find ways to show it through the quality and frequency of his communication. He'll go beyond casual exchanges, using each opportunity to deepen your connection in subtle yet meaningful ways. And while these actions may be quiet, they speak volumes about his intentions. Frequent communication, when done thoughtfully, is a powerful sign of attraction. It's his way of saying, "You matter to me," even if he hasn't found the courage to say it outright. The question is, are you noticing the signs? Stay tuned as we unravel even more ways he might be revealing his hidden feelings without saying a word. 5. Genuine compliments. When was the last time someone gave you a compliment that stayed with you, not because it was about your looks, but because it reflected something deeper about who you are? If a man is secretly attracted to you, his compliments will feel different, thoughtful, meaningful, and aimed at more than just the surface. Let's explore what makes his words so special and why they reveal more than he's saying out loud. A man who admires you will often notice the small, unique things about you that others might overlook. Instead of simply saying, "You look nice," he might remark on how your determination inspires him or how your laughter brightens a room. His compliments go beyond the ordinary, showing that he sees and appreciates the essence of who you are. For instance, he might say, "I really admire how passionate you are about your work," or "Your perspective always makes conversations so interesting." These are the kinds of compliments that come from someone who's genuinely captivated by you. Think about how often he gives these compliments and how specific they are. A general "You're amazing" is sweet, but when he takes the time to point out something unique, like the way you handle challenges or the way you make people feel comfortable, it's a sign he's paying close attention to you. This level of detail shows his interest isn't casual, it's personal. But here's the twist. He may not always say these things outright. Sometimes his compliments come through actions rather than words. Maybe he notices your love for a particular type of coffee and surprises you with it. Or perhaps he references something you mentioned weeks ago, showing that he values and remembers even the smallest details about you. These gestures are unspoken compliments, expressing admiration through thoughtfulness. From a Dark Stoic Psychology perspective, these compliments reflect his desire to connect with you on a deeper level. They're not just about flattery, they're about creating a sense of trust and showing you that he understands and values who you are. Stoicism reminds us to receive these compliments with grace and mindfulness, appreciating them for what they are while staying grounded and clear-headed. So, how do you tell if his compliments are genuine? Pay attention to his tone and delivery. Is he sincere, or does it feel like he's just trying to impress you? A man who's truly drawn to you will often compliment you in moments when he's not trying to gain anything, when it's just the two of you, or when there's no need to say anything at all. These are the moments that matter because they show his admiration is real. Now, let's bring this back to you. Have you noticed someone giving you compliments that feel unusually personal? Does he go out of his way to praise not just how you look, but who you are as a person? If so, it's time to reflect on what that means. We'd love to hear your stories about this. Have you ever experienced a compliment that felt deeply meaningful? How did it change the way you saw the person who gave it to you? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We're building a community of connection and understanding, and your voice matters. And if this insight resonates with you, give this video a like. Your support helps us continue diving into the fascinating world of human behavior and relationships. Stick around for the next sign. Things are only getting more interesting, and you won't want to miss it. 6. Nervousness and fidgeting. Have you ever noticed a man who seems perfectly confident suddenly become a little less composed when he's around you? Maybe he fidgets with his hands, adjusts his shirt, or even stumbles over his words. These signs of nervousness might seem subtle, but they speak volumes about his feelings. When a man is secretly attracted to you, the pressure to make a good impression can lead to small but revealing shifts in his behavior. Nervousness often stems from his heightened awareness of your presence. He may not even realize he's fidgeting or blushing when you're near. It's a subconscious reaction to how much he cares about how you perceive him. Perhaps he laughs a little too hard at your jokes or hesitates before responding, worried he'll say the wrong thing. These moments, though fleeting, are powerful indicators of attraction. Think about how he behaves around others compared to how he acts around you. Is he calm and collected with everyone else but slightly off balance when it's just the two of you? Maybe he avoids prolonged eye contact, only to steal quick glances when he thinks you're not looking. Or perhaps he starts talking faster or nervously filling silences. These are all signs he's feeling the intensity of his emotions but trying hard to keep them under control. Even his body language can give him away. He might play with his watch, tap his fingers on a table, or adjust his position frequently. These are often unconscious attempts to release the tension he feels in your presence. But here's the beauty of it. His nervousness isn't a weakness. It's a window into how much he values your opinion and how deeply he wants to connect with you. From a Dark Stoic Psychology perspective, these signs reveal the vulnerability that attraction often brings. While his mind tries to maintain composure, his body betrays the excitement and anticipation he feels around you. Stoicism, on the other hand, encourages us to approach these moments with empathy and understanding. Recognizing his nervousness allows you to create an environment where he feels more at ease, fostering genuine connection. Imagine the next time you're with him and notice these subtle cues. What happens if you respond with warmth, a kind smile, a reassuring word, or even a gentle laugh to ease the tension? You'll find that his nervousness starts to dissipate, replaced by a sense of comfort and trust. These moments, though small, can be the foundation of something deeper. 7. Finding common interests. What better way to connect with someone than through shared passions and interests? When a man is secretly attracted to you, he'll naturally look for ways to align his world with yours. Whether it's suddenly developing an interest in your favorite music, asking about the shows you watch, or suggesting an activity you've mentioned in passing, he's actively trying to find common ground. Have you ever noticed him bringing up topics you're passionate about? For instance, if you casually mentioned your love for art, does he later suggest visiting a gallery or asking your opinion about a famous painting? Or maybe you talked about a sport you enjoy, and now he's following that team and casually dropping their latest scores into conversation. These aren't coincidences, they're deliberate efforts to create a connection through shared experiences. Pay close attention to how he frames these interests. Does he ask questions that show genuine curiosity? Perhaps he wants to know why you love a certain hobby or how you first got into it. His interest isn't just about the activity itself. It's about understanding what makes you happy and finding ways to be part of that joy. This effort shows not only attraction but also emotional investment. Sometimes these shared interests become opportunities for him to spend more time with you. If he learns you love hiking, he might suggest a weekend trail. If you mention your favorite author, he might start reading their work and strike up a conversation about it later. These gestures show that he's not just observing your interests but actively incorporating them into his life. From a Stoicism standpoint, this behavior highlights the mutual exploration of values and passions that builds deeper connections. It's about more than just compatibility. It's about the effort he's willing to put in to understand and share your world. Recognizing this effort is key to appreciating his intentions without becoming overly dependent on the validation it provides. Think back to your interactions with him. Have you noticed him aligning his plans with yours or seeking opportunities to explore things you love? These aren't just acts of convenience, they're deliberate ways to bond. Even if the interests are new to him, his willingness to dive into them shows his desire to connect with you on a meaningful level. Finding common interests is one of the most natural yet profound ways people bond. For him, it's a chance to step closer to you, to share experiences that bring you both joy. And for you, it's an opportunity to see his efforts and intentions in action, laying the groundwork for a connection that's both authentic and enduring. Stay with me, there's more to uncover as we delve deeper into his secret language of attraction. 8. Open body language. Have you ever caught someone's body language revealing what their words couldn't? Sometimes the way a man positions himself around you can say more than anything he might dare to express. Open body language, leaning toward you, maintaining eye contact, uncrossed arms and relaxed postures can be one of the clearest signs a man is secretly attracted to you. Let's uncover how these unspoken cues give away his hidden feelings. Imagine this. You're in a group setting, and while others are casually mingling, you notice that his entire body is oriented toward you. His feet, torso, and gaze are directed your way, even when the conversation shifts elsewhere. Why? Because his focus is on you. His posture is an invitation, subtly signaling that you have his full attention, and he's drawn to you more than anyone else in the room. Pay attention to his hands as well. Open gestures, like his palms facing upward or resting comfortably on the table, indicate he feels at ease and open in your presence. If he leans in when you're talking, closing the distance between you, it's another strong signal he's engaged and interested. Compare this with how he interacts with others. Does he seem more relaxed and open with you? If so, his body language might already be revealing the depth of his attraction. Eye contact is another powerful indicator. Prolonged eye contact that feels warm and genuine, not just fleeting glances, suggests he's trying to connect with you on an emotional level. And when his smiles reach his eyes, forming what's often called smiling with the eyes or a Duchenne smile, it's a strong sign his feelings are authentic. These moments, though subtle, are like tiny windows into his emotions. Even small, seemingly unconscious actions can be telling. He might touch his face or smooth his hair when you're near, small grooming gestures that indicate he's subconsciously trying to look his best for you. Or perhaps he mirrors your movements, leaning in when you do or mimicking your gestures. These are subconscious ways of building rapport and showing that he feels connected to you. From the perspective of Dark Stoic Psychology, open body language reflects a sense of vulnerability and trust. A man who feels drawn to you won't just be interested in what you say. He'll want to show, through every movement, that he's emotionally open and present with you. Meanwhile, Stoicism encourages us to observe these cues without rushing to conclusions. When combined with other signs, open body language paints a clearer picture of his intentions. The next time you're around him, experiment with your own body language. Do you notice that when you shift closer, he does too? Or when you relax, his posture mirrors yours? These subtle exchanges are like an unspoken conversation happening beneath the surface. Now, let's hear from you. Have you noticed a man whose body language shifts when he's around you? Does he seem more open, more engaged, and more tuned into your presence? Share your experiences in the comments below. Your stories add richness to our understanding of connection and attraction. And if these insights resonate with you, show your support by giving this video a like. It's through your engagement that we can keep exploring these fascinating dynamics and decoding the hidden language of attraction. Stay with me, there's still more to uncover, and the next sign will deepen your understanding even further. 9. Making future plans. When a man is secretly attracted to you, he often envisions you in his future, even if he hasn't explicitly said so. His actions, however, will reveal his intentions. Have you noticed him casually mentioning future outings, events, or activities involving you? These moments might seem light-hearted on the surface, but they're significant. He's subtly expressing that he sees you as part of his life moving forward. Consider how he brings up these plans. Does he say things like, "We should check out that new cafe sometime," or "There's a concert next month you might enjoy"? These aren't just offhand remarks, they're carefully placed opportunities to gauge your interest and create moments for the two of you to connect. A man who isn't interested won't go out of his way to include you in his future thoughts. Sometimes his planning is even more specific. Maybe he suggests a day trip or talks about a mutual hobby and proposes an idea for the weekend. He might even discuss long-term possibilities, like a vacation spot he thinks you'd love or a project you could work on together. These gestures show he's not only thinking about the present but actively weaving you into his future narrative. This kind of behavior often emerges in casual conversations, For example, you could be discussing a movie genre you both enjoy, and he says something like, "There's a new one coming out next month. Want to go see it together?" Or maybe he mentions a hobby he's into, then invites you to join him in exploring it. These invitations are his way of creating shared experiences and solidifying a bond. Even the way he listens and remembers details can reflect this intention. Let's say you once mentioned a restaurant you've been dying to try. Weeks later, he suggests going there together. This isn't just attentiveness, it's strategic thoughtfulness. By proposing plans based on your interests, he's showing you that he values your happiness and wants to build a deeper connection. From a Dark Stoic Psychology perspective, making future plans is a way for him to anchor his attraction in real-life scenarios. It's not about abstract feelings, it's about turning those feelings into actionable steps that bring you closer. Stoicism, on the other hand, reminds us to observe these gestures without becoming overly attached to their implications. A man's consistent effort to involve you in his future plans is a strong indicator of genuine interest, but it's also important to remain grounded and balanced as these connections unfold. Sometimes these plans might include subtle indications of how he sees you in his life. For instance, he could talk about future goals or dreams and frame them in a way that aligns with your values. He's testing compatibility, not overtly, but in a way that invites you to imagine being part of those moments with him. These future-oriented gestures often serve as quiet declarations of intent. A man who doesn't see a long-term connection wouldn't bother investing energy into these kinds of plans. His willingness to invite you into his world is a testament to the importance he places on your presence in his life. Take a moment to reflect. Has he been weaving you into his future through thoughtful plans or shared goals? These aren't just signs of attraction, they're his way of showing that he values you deeply and wants to create lasting memories together. It's a quiet yet profound declaration, and when combined with other signals, it reveals the depth of his feelings. Stay with me as we move to the final sign, where his actions speak volumes about his care and commitment. 10. Protectiveness and Support. When a man is secretly attracted to you, his concern for your well-being often takes center stage. This protectiveness isn't about grand gestures or heroic acts, it's the small, consistent ways he shows he cares. Whether it's stepping in to help when you're overwhelmed, defending you in conversations, or offering unwavering support during difficult times, his actions reveal a deep and genuine affection. Have you noticed him going out of his way to ensure you're comfortable? Maybe it's as simple as offering his jacket when it's cold or walking you to your car after an event. These gestures might seem casual, but they're his way of saying, "I want you to feel safe and valued." A man who is secretly drawn to you will often prioritize your well-being, even when it means inconveniencing himself. Support can manifest in many ways, from helping you solve a problem to simply being there as a steady emotional anchor. For example, when you're dealing with a challenging situation, he might check in more frequently, offering words of encouragement or even practical help. His protectiveness doesn't always have to be physical, it's also emotional and mental. He wants to be someone you can lean on, someone you know will show up when it matters most. This protectiveness often extends to how he speaks about you to others. Imagine being in a group conversation and someone criticizes or jokes about something related to you. Does he step in to defend you? Even in subtle ways. A man who values you won't stand idly by. He'll make sure you feel respected and appreciated, even when you're not aware of it. Even in the little things, his care shines through. For instance, if you're stressed about a deadline or overwhelmed by a task, he might offer practical solutions or simply take something off your plate. He may anticipate your needs, like bringing you your favorite snack when you've had a rough day, or remembering details about your schedule to make your life easier. From a Dark Stoic Psychology lens, this behavior reflects his underlying desire to be a stable and reliable presence in your life. Protectiveness and support are driven by his attraction but rooted in a genuine desire to see you thrive. Meanwhile, Stoicism reminds us to recognize and appreciate these gestures without becoming overly reliant on them. Balance is key. While his care is valuable, your independence remains essential. Think about the consistency of his actions. A man who is truly interested won't just show up during the good times. He'll be there when life gets messy. His support will feel steady, unshaken by external circumstances. It's in those moments, when things are tough, and he steps up, that his true feelings become undeniable. Protectiveness also often involves subtle acts of prioritization. Have you noticed him putting your needs above his own in small ways? Maybe he rearranges his schedule to help you or offers to accompany you to an event you're nervous about. These actions may seem minor, but they're his way of showing that you matter deeply to him. As you reflect on this sign, think about how his care makes you feel. Does he create a sense of safety and warmth? Do you feel like he's someone you can rely on, even without asking? These are the hallmarks of a man whose attraction runs deeper than surface-level interest. It's not just about liking you, it's about valuing you. Together, these 10 signs weave a rich tapestry of his feelings, offering you a glimpse into his heart. When a man is secretly attracted to you, his actions often speak louder than his words. It's up to you to notice, interpret, and decide how to respond. Now that you've explored the subtle yet unmistakable ways a man reveals his attraction, it's time to reflect. Have you experienced these signs in your own life? How do they resonate with your understanding of connection and human behavior? I'd love to hear your thoughts and stories. Share them in the comments below. Your insights add depth to this conversation and help build a community of understanding. If you found this guide helpful, show your support by liking this video and subscribing for more insights into relationships, connection, and the hidden dynamics of attraction. Let's continue exploring these fascinating layers of human behavior together. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the secret language of attraction. Until next time, take care, stay mindful, and never stop embracing the beauty of authentic connection.